Russia shipping drone parts and explosives to Iran, as you can see linked up on Mark13News.com for August 17, 2026. Iran is Persia in Ezekiel 38, and the Ezekiel 38 Confederacy also includes Libya, and as you can see linked up for August 19th, Moscow modernizing key military bases in Libya as the Ezekiel 38 Confederacy continues to formulate, headed by Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, meaning most likely Moscow and Tobolsk. As you can see in the Daniel 11 hypothesis on biblicalresearchlabs.com, the current king of the north is the Russian Federation, which is for the most part controlled by the Kenites on the multipolar end of the globalist spectrum, and the United States is the current king of the south. Nation shall rise against nation means the Kenite nation rising against itself through two warring factions within the shadow government thereof, which is symbolized by the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8. Those two warring factions being the multipolarist Kenites, who again for the most part control the Russian Federation, and the unipolarist Kenites, who for the most part control the left-right paradigm, which is symbolized by Ammon and Moab. But also operating within the left-right paradigm, as well as the media outlets of the United States, are the hidden agents of Edom working to introduce geopolitical disorder into internal American activity, encouraging all kinds of separatism and ethnic, social, and racial conflicts, actively supporting all dissident movements, extremist, racist, and sectarian groups, thus destabilizing internal political processes in the United States, as Alexander Dugin wrote in his book Foundations of Geopolitics, which was published back in 1997. That same year, The Grand Chessboard by Zbigniew Brzezinski was published, and in the 2017 edition, Brzezinski added an epilogue that says, "Today, the world still needs not an America content to engage in unilateral wars, but a global superpower that recognizes the fleeting nature of its unique preeminence and thus seeks to develop a more multipolar world order." But no matter what the Kenites do to establish the vision, meaning the vision of a global government, they shall fall, as we know from Daniel 11:14. And that word translated as fall there is from a Hebrew word, which in this case means to fail, because there will be no new world order, as it's called, until the woe of the fifth trumpet, when Satan and his angels get cast to earth. That's when the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8, which again is symbolic of the shadow government of the Kenites, becomes the leopard of Daniel chapter 7, which is symbolic of the Kenites and their four hidden dynasties, providing the infrastructure of the one world system of Revelation 13. It's also at the woe of the fifth trumpet that the Ezekiel 38 Confederacy becomes the bear of Daniel chapter 7, with the lion being symbolic of the Christian nations up until Satan appears as the Antichrist at the woe of the sixth trumpet, because that's when the Christian nations become non-Christian nations, when most Christians begin worshiping Satan instead of Christ, which is what Antichrist means. The true Christ won't return until 2.5 months later at the woe of the seventh trumpet, and as the true Christ says in the last verse of Mark chapter 13, "What I say unto you, I say unto all, watch."
Hey, why so sad? And this isn't the first time I've noticed it. Oh, nothing, really. Whatever it is, I've got just the cure for it.
Now on DVD, the timelines of Revelation 2 disc set, which includes the timeline of the Seven Seals videos, as well as the timeline of the Seven Trumpets videos. Email us at mark13records@mail.com to find out how to order, or call 1-800-816-2432. Fantastic. You'll enjoy it.